Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name's Colton, and I like to talk about Bibles, books, and theology-related things. Today, I have a book review for you, courtesy of Crossway. I would like to thank them so much for sending out this book for a fair and honest review.
I fix my eyes on Christ. I fix my eyes.
And, it's that time of year where it's a new year. Things are, we're getting organized, or many of us have on our minds how we can improve things, how we can change things in our lives, build better habits, and, all those things. And so I thought, what better time to read this book and review it for you, and that is Make the Most of Your Productivity, a guide to honoring God with your time. And this is by Anna Avila, or Avila. I don't know for sure how that's supposed to be pronounced, and please forgive me for that. I finished this book, and it was great, and I highly recommend it to you. And I want to talk to you about what I think sets it apart from other books on productivity. And the first one is just that it's written from a Christian perspective. So you see that right there in the beginning, a guide to honoring God with your time. That's her aim in writing this. Her point is to bring about how we as Christians should think about productivity. So this is it's for a specific audience. There's no doubt about it. The second thing I would say that sets it apart is in that same vein, and it's really, I think, the bulk of this book, really about the first 70% of it, is really about thinking through the why you want to be more productive and, be more organized, and viewing that why in light of the gospel, that the gospel really kind of becomes the why, but it's how we see things as far as getting organized, getting productive, getting work done well, all those things. One of the things I know that many of us struggle with, and I think Anna really deals with in the book, is when we don't do things according to plan, when there's a variation, like let's say we get a wrench thrown in the works. We had our day completely organized, planned, and then something comes up that changes everything. If you're like me, you're tempted to just let that audible disrupt everything, to which she would say, we just have to adapt and change with those things, but not give up, but keep the gospel of grace in mind. And also, maybe it's a different situation where you just have a lazy day, where you don't do what you should do, to be able to have the grace of Christ to speak to your heart in those moments and say, it's all right. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to follow Jesus for the best of my ability and be a good steward of my time. And I'm going to pick it back up tomorrow. Because I know for me, and I know this may be the case for many people, is my problem with anything that I'm trying to form into a habit is whenever I fail in a small way, I let it affect me in a big way. And I think this book was just a good reminder of what the gospel does for us, and that we can view this sort of thing through that lens and go, you know what? Yeah, I was too lazy today. I didn't get around to doing some of the things I needed to do. I didn't set my schedule right today, but I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to adapt. And also she deals with, it's okay to try out different systems to find what works for you. The last half of the book, she really talks about her own systems and things she's implemented. It does contain a lot of information about, some of the apps she uses to help her and stuff. Not a lot of information, a fair amount just to give you some ideas. Ultimately, you can take her system and you can go with it, and kind of adapt it for yourself or use it verbatim. She tends to view things in terms of, she gives these two different sections, where one is how you process information. So like your tasks or things that have been in your brain or things you need to do, and that's to neutralize, evaluate, and plan. So it's kind of how you distill that information. And then in your planning, she views things through the lens of horizon, goals and projects. And I'll let you kind of look into that yourself to understand more what those mean. But essentially, the horizon goals and projects is kind of like a tree that goes down, the way she puts it. She gives you those systems as a place to get started with, organizational ideas. You don't have to follow it verbatim, or you don't have to follow it at all. You can just glean from it what you can. I think the most effective part of this book, and why it's worth reading, is just her reminders of the gospel when thinking through these different aspects of productivity. So, Make the Most of Your Productivity, A Guide to Honoring God with Your Time by Anna Avila. Highly recommend this book. I think it's great. Another one I recommend in the same vein is Do More Better from Tim Challies. It's another book in a similar vein from a Christian author who I think does a good job. But yeah, recommend it as you're looking at ways to get organized this year, or maybe just trying to reframe your mind or get some fresh perspective on productivity. That's going to do it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you watching. I'll have the book linked down in the description below if you're interested in it. Also, just don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the things. I know someone had recently said that annoyed them. I'm sorry that I put that reminder in there. It's just a gentle reminder. If you enjoy what I'm doing here on the channel, I really appreciate those forms of feedback. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.